light.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so dark here. Okay, cool. No, I'm not. Outside is blown out. Is this going to be one of those where the light just goes, as it continues the white balances? Or?
Pretty much. It'd be like the sign we're in the Matrix.
No, we're cool. We're cool.
Right.
Okay. Hello.
Hi. Good to see you, man. Welcome back.
It's been a while. Yes, yes.
I'm glad we made this work.
Yes, indeed.
So we can talk about the new Star Wars movie that apparently nobody saw.
Yeah, right. Well, they really fucking didn't advertise it anywhere. Like, they're really underselling it.
I mean,
they're not
saw
putting any effort towards advertising this damn thing.
I saw a lot of the trailer for this one, and I saw some posters, but yeah, beyond that, I don't remember seeing much else.
Yeah, no, it's not being advertised nearly as aggressively as, like, Rogue One was.
And I think it's like, a lot of it is because, dude, I don't know how much faith Disney had in this one compared to the other ones.
Well, it has been through some production issues along the way, so...
And it is kind of the prequel no one kind of asked for.
Yeah.
So they kind of have that going against it, too.
I mean... The idea that they would tackle certain moments and like, you know, put them into a movie definitely made some people go, okay, well, that'd be cool to see, but I don't know if you could do it.
Yeah.
And Lord and Miller, you know, they got rid of.
And then everything else, like...
Which I was kind of sad about, but at the same time, you know, I love those guys, but seeing it now, I can kind of understand... Yeah, the tone difference, because I can feel like they would have made it even goofier.
Yeah, I can see that too.
But I also feel like they left in enough of the Lord and Miller writing to make it legitimately funny.
So that all being said,
yeah,
I had a really good fucking time with this.
I fucking loved this movie. I had a great time. As far as like Star Wars fun goes, this is the best of the new ones.
Yeah, if we're just going up here I'm not
Star Wars adventure good time.
Objectively, it's not the best of the new Star Wars movies, but like it's the most fun I've had in one in years.
Definitely. I feel like I felt the way about this that a lot of people felt about The Force Awakens. I did not like The Force Awakens.
I liked The Force Awakens enough.
It was boring. It was boring.
Like that one, I know.
It was bland and the jokes didn't land. It tried too hard in a lot of ways and didn't try hard enough.
I get that. It didn't bother me necessarily. Like, there's stuff I was curious about. I was like, okay, at least I'm still kind of on board. It was kind of a reset button, basically.
I suppose, but I definitely had the issue with it that, like, when George Lucas voiced his problems with it, I definitely agreed. And I realized that was it. Like, when I saw The Force Awakens, I'm like, there is nothing new here. There's nothing, there's no sense of wonder
that is
that
a
I got out
legitimate
of
criticism,
this.
But again, like, that comes into, well, we did get new things. It was called the prequels, and those sucked.
Well, but that was at least something that the prequels did well. The prequels actually showed us... Well, the things that George Lucas has always done well is the world building. He's been good at building the universe. The best ideas he's always had have always been technical and, you know, concepts and creative. Writing has never been his strong suit.
Yeah, that's kind of like... That's where I think The Force Awakens improved, where George Lucas suffered, is the fact that I really liked the characters.
The characters were good, but the jokes sucked.
I didn't hate the jokes, but that's a subjective thing.
They were like, I feel like a lot of people just give it too much of a pass. And then Rogue One was its own really good, serious movie.
Rogue One, I thought it was okay until like the third act, then it got really, really good.
Yeah, no, the third act it's all a setup for the third act.
Yeah, and the third act is fucking phenomenal.
And personally, I fucking love The Last Jedi.
I loved it too.
Okay,
I think it's unfair rep.
Good.
That's one I hate. Like, that was one that kind of turned me against the toxic fandom it's got going on right now, because it is fucking bad.
Yeah. I know people really hate it, partially because of the like anti-feminist stuff, but then like.
Well, I mean, like, me and Ron hates the movie, so we had a long...
Last Jedi?
Last Jedi. We had a long discussion about it.
Oh, boy.
Mostly because he did the whole, it's not my Luke Skywalker, theory. Which, again, if that's what you think, okay, I get it. I don't agree, because I still like the way they took it.
I really liked this take on Luke.
Me too!
I liked the whole, because, I mean, the whole idea that Luke is gone... Like, if you liked The Force Awakens and the fact that Luke was not there, and you like the fact that he was exiled to he exiled himself to some island in the middle of space, I don't know how you would think that he would be like, all right, it's time for me to come back just because this strange lady said so. Like, his whole approach towards it, like, there's a reason I left, there's a reason that this is all this way, there's a reason I'm letting this die out, and the way that Yoda brings him back.
The Yoda scene in Last Jedi is fucking amazing. I will punch anyone that tells me differently.
It was so good.
One of these days, I'll send you, like, a couple links. This guy named Movie Bob did a couple really good editorials about why, like, okay, I see what your argument is, but here's why it's wrong.
Yeah, exactly. I think they did it justice, and I think they fixed a lot of stuff that was wrong with the series, including the prequels. They addressed that midichlorians are bullshit.
I mean, if we're being fair, though, the casino scene was a little too much prequel for me.
The casino scene was fun. Let's fuck shit up. Like,
yeah, let's
just have an adventure ride. Like, I don't feel like it was that bad. It was just like kind of ham-fisted, maybe.
Yeah, it felt like.
But since when has Star Wars not been ham-fisted?
True, and there is that going into it too. This is a case where like. That kind of leads into Solo talk, but that reminds me, like, this, I think I put this on my Facebook page, I was like, this is Solo, the movie that dares to ask, hey, remember when Star Wars was fun?
Yeah, right? So, yeah, that's a good segue. So, I, immediately, going into the movie, I was worried.
I had no expectations going into
Well, I had no expectations, but the first thing I saw really worried me, and that was that they decided to forego the opening crawl.
Yeah, I mean, like, Rogue One did that, too.
Really?
Yeah, Rogue One didn't have an opening crawl.
I forgot. I guess since it's not a main Star Wars movie.
So I think it's their thing that since it's not if anything that's not like a main Star Wars episode, they don't need to crawl for.
I was really expecting the long time ago, and then BAM! And then I was just like, oh.
Yeah, I know. Like, I got excited a little bit when I saw, like, a long time ago, and then I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Because something about that sound, just like, yay.
Yeah, there's something about that that's like, yeah, this is John Williams. But there are definitely a couple of issues I had with the movie.
Oh, yeah, like, this is not a perfect movie by any stretch of
I don't think there's any Star Wars movie I've seen that I haven't had a couple of issues with.
Yeah,
so,
I agree with that.
But I do have an issue with how they tackled a couple of pieces of lore, I suppose.
Are you talking about that cameo?
Which cameo?
The big one at the very end that I can't say without giving away a big spoiler.
No, not that one. Although I was really happy to see Warwick Davis out of fucking nowhere.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, oh my god, it's Warwick Davis! And my girlfriend's like, who? And I'm like, if you don't know, you won't get it. Like, there's no, how am I supposed to explain Willow? Like, what? No.
Yeah, and we'll talk about the cameo, too, because we have to talk about that.
Yeah, no, that's something that needs to be addressed. Especially, I really like how you got to see the early Empire in this.
Yeah, no,
it was interesting.
I think what I like about this movie, just overall, is I liked it when it felt like a small movie.
Yeah, it definitely had interesting moments like that.
Like, I honestly, like, the part that kind of dropped the ball a little bit is when it did kind of get bigger, like Save the Galaxy kind of thing. It's like, but I think at its best, it's about just space pirates stealing shit. Dude, that's when the movie is the best.
The movie is like 3 giant heists,
and that's what makes that's what like I had so much goddamn fun with those scenes.
Oh, and this let's just quickly mention before we get to it in detail later. The Kessel Run.
Oh my god, the Kessel Run.
Oh my god. They set it up and it goes to hell in such a great way, and then the way they pull it off is fucking amazing. So,
and Donald Glover is fantastic.
Donald Glover is great, but somehow the dude playing Solo is even better? He did a great job.
I thought he did really good, and not perfect, but I was like, he definitely carried the movie.
Yeah, he given that it was his job to carry the film, and a lot of people were kind of worried.
I mean, I was kind of worried. I bought him pretty well as a young Solo.
Yeah, I think he did a really good job with it.
Yeah, and I've always liked that actor. Like, he's the one in Kingsman, isn't he?
I didn't see the second one.
I'm talking about the first one.
I don't remember him in that one.
Okay, I may be thinking of the wrong person, but let me take a look here. I'm pretty sure. Anyway, keep talking. I'll look this up.
You don't mean the main character, right? Because he's definitely not the main character.
Okay. Then who the fuck am I thinking of? Who is this guy?
I don't know. But yeah, let's see. It starts off with... Man, his whole thing with Emilia Clarke trying to escape and everything. Like, that whole scene where he tries to pretend the rock is a thermal detonator.
Yeah. You just made a clicking sound with your mouth.
She's like, no, it's not. That's a rock. And he's like, yes, it is. And I just armed it. She's like, no, you didn't. You just made a clicking sound with your mouth. And he's like, oh, well... That was when I was like, wow, okay, there's the Lord and Miller right there. Like, that's definitely their writing.
Okay, he was the guy in Hail Caesar.
Okay. But let's see. From there, they had the whole escape sequence, which was a great chase. And even though it did pretty much have the same joke as they did in the opening chase of The Man from U.N.C.L.E., Where the car just,
I
it
forgot
almost
about
hits the end of
that.
it.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I thought of, because I rewatched that movie again like a few weeks ago.
I gotta go back and watch that movie.
It's a great movie.
Is that still hold up?
It still holds up. It's a fun movie.
Because I remember you and I really liked that when we saw it.
Yeah, no, it's fun. It's a lot of fun. But then the whole escape from the planet and him joining the... I kind of was like, about how he got the name Solo.
Yeah, that was kind of one of the, like, I kind of expected that kind of cheesiness kind of movie, though.
Yeah.
You knew, like, that tongue firmly on cheek kind of thing.
Yeah, I was like, wait, so I would have at least hoped that he would have been like, well, I'm alone. I'm Solo. I hoped he would have picked it.
Yeah.
Except for
there's that Han Solo.
Yeah, like just some guard, fucking, some like Navy recruiters like, you know what, you're Han Solo now. We're like, well... fine, whatever. It's not that important in the context of the film.
No.
And then it moves on to him being in the army, which is fucking great, because they definitely have... They have some dark humor in that scene.
Yeah.
Like when the guy's like, follow me to victory!
And then
laughed so hard.
And then Woody fucking Harrelson shows up.
And Thandie Newton.
Love Woody Harrelson so goddamn much.
Woody Harrelson and Thandie Newton actually played off of each other really well.
That's which one was Thandie Newton?
His only human companion.
Okay, yeah, I don't know her. I didn't know her name.
She's the only person with him.
Was that in that six-arm guy?
Well, but he's not a person.
That's racist.
And he's not a... Thandie is not a man's name.
That is speciest.
Well, yeah, fine. But that is Jon Favreau.
Is it really?
Yeah, Jon Favreau plays Rio.
That's why he got on my nerves.
Yeah. Definitely. I'm like, I know that voice, damn it. And I just watched Spider-Man Homecoming a couple weeks ago, so I'm like, there you go. It's happy.
He was good in that movie.
Yeah. But yeah, let's see. From there...
And then, like
the way he meets Chewie.
That was great.
That was pretty great. Although at the same time as I understand, like, that he saved him on another level, like, I don't know if that... When I thought about life debt, I imagined something much more dramatic.
I'm not sure it's more like a life debt so much as kind of like, all right, you're cool. We like,
yeah, but
like the way I saw it is like less of the life debt thing, more like, all right, well, you got me in a jam, you got me in a ship. You know, let's partner up.
Yeah, but the whole lore behind Chewie and Han has been that Chewie owes him a life debt. That Solo did something that, like, really dramatically saved his life on a big way. So maybe it's a combination of all the things that happened through the movie.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
Either way, Chewie...
But that opening fight, that was really funny, especially when he speaks Wookiee.
Oh yeah,
it's like, he's like, yeah, I speak a little. He just looks at him all confused.
But no, like actually, Chewie gets a surprising amount of like
dialogue, so to speak.
I guess dialogue. Just screen presence.
Yeah, he gets a good amount of attention.
Yeah, which I didn't realize how much how much I wanted that until it actually happened.
Yeah.
It was kind of like, have you seen Deadpool 2 yet?
No, not yet.
Okay, then I'm not going to give it away.
Yeah, no, that's definitely on my list.
There's a fight that happens in there. It's like, I forgot how much I wanted this, and it surprisingly took a Deadpool movie for me to finally fucking get it, X-Men.
Right on. Okay.
You'll know when you get there.
All right, I'm sure I will. But let's see, what else?
So yeah, they basically just team up, become space pirates with Woody Harrelson.
Yeah,
for a while.
And I love how Woody just sends him to the pit to die, and then when they see him again, they're like, I kind of like this kid.
Yeah, he's got moxie.
Yeah, right.
And from there, it just turns into a heist movie, like several heist movie, and it's a ton of fun. The train sequence is fantastic.
Even the sequence by the fire was. Surprisingly decent. It wasn't super sappy. It felt like it gave every character a little bit of attention, and
it knew what it was doing.
Yeah,
it felt
well
like
written.
It knew what it was doing.
Yeah,
Ron Howard did a good job of piecing all this together.
Well, there's that, but you also got to remember that the script rewrite was by the guy who wrote Empire.
That makes sense.
So it's granted he's done a lot of other not quite as great stuff since then, but I feel like this was a good pairing.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, and thank God it worked out, because I know, like, especially me and Ron, like, this is probably gonna suck.
Well, Ron Howard has a really good eye for comedy, and he, I don't think Ron Howard has ever really been bad at directing or anything. Like, most of the stuff he's put out has at least been good for what it tried to do. Mm-hmm. Like, you got to remember, Ron Howard brought us like Arrested Development and shit.
Okay,
so
yeah, I'm trying to remember, like, what have I seen that Ron Howard has done?
But yeah, look up some of his other films. He's actually a really, really competent director.
I mean, I believe it. I know he's got a good reputation. No, I don't care about his sign. Just the fucking movies he's made.
Filmography.
There you go. All right. Okay,
A Beautiful Mind, Apollo 13.
Frost Nixon.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, he was a producer on that one, apparently.
Oh, well, still, as a director, he's been pretty solid. So, yeah, the train heist. The train heist went awfully wrong for the first thing that they tagged along on.
That's an understatement.
Yeah. I guess we won't spoil that too much, but it goes really wrong. And I really expected Chewie to jump up and join the fight sooner, you know?
I could see that.
It felt weird that he didn't.
To be fair, he just gotta have a death cage.
Yeah. And then the other part was
and shared
like
the
there were certain
shower.
There were certain moments where where he comes and he's like, well, we couldn't do this separate one at a time, and Chewie's like, Chewie doesn't give a fuck. But yeah, like when he pulls him out of the way of that cliff that's coming to hit him, and he pulls him at the last second.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, all right, that's kind of that's contrived.
Yeah, like that was a joke I was making where the trailer kept popping up. I was like, gee, I wonder if Chewie makes it.
Yeah, right. And then Han is like, that was close. Han, you didn't see that. It wasn't in your field of vision. What are you talking about? You have no idea what just happened. Like, there's just moments like that where it's clearly like movie logic, and you gotta let it slide. Because again, Star Wars, it's not the most. It's not trying to be like a perfect, logical film. It's trying to have fun and be an adventure, and that works great.
And it's a really fun adventure for what it is. Like,
dude, when the shipment blew up and took out like the mountain, I was like, wow, that's dramatic.
This movie works so well when it just focused on these characters just trying to get their shit together, basically.
Yeah.
And that's where it's the most fun, because like after that, they meet up with Paul Bettany. I love Paul Bettany in this movie.
Great. I love how he's like, they're like, oh, he's having a meeting with the regional governor. And
he just stabs.
Just cuts to... No, he's not even cuts to the stab. He cuts with the knife already in. And it's funny because in the credits, there's actually a credit for regional governor. That's that guy's role was literally just to slump over and be dragged away.
And apparently this guy was originally played by somebody else, but they had to do reshoots. The original actor wasn't available, so Paul Bettany was actually a last-minute replacement.
Wow. Go Paul Bettany.
I know, and he's like, I'm so glad they did, because he is, again, so much fucking fun in this movie.
Yeah, no, he's a fantastic villain. Paul Bettany knows how to chew the scenery.
Oh, he does. And he knows the exact movie where he needs to chew all the scenery.
Yeah. I mean, like, this is the same guy that got to play the, like, self-flagellating assassin priest from Da Vinci Code. Like,
oh, man, I didn't see the Da Vinci Code. So
he is really something. Paul Bettany is almost always good. I've never seen him in a bad role.
Paul Bettany is one of those actors that does not get nearly enough credit. I mean, thank God that the Avengers came along and gave him a bit more of a spotlight.
As what?
The Vision.
Oh yeah, he's Vision. He's just under so much makeup. I didn't remember.
You recognize the voice.
I suppose. I still need to see Infinity War. I finally caught up enough to do so. So
yeah, you're
spent like $80 on Marvel movies just to do it. Although I did see Doctor Strange on my 3D TV, which was awesome.
Okay, actually, that's pretty cool.
Oh my god!
You could have just called me. I have most of them on Blu-ray.
I mean, it's hard enough for us to arrange time to see each other as it is.
Point taken.
So, plus iTunes was having a sale. I got the whole Thor trilogy for $35.
Nice.
So that's not fucking bad. And I got Spider-Man for $10.
That's pretty good.
When it comes down to that, yeah, the tough one was Doctor Strange because I really insisted on getting the 3D Blu-ray, and that is out of print in the US, so I had to go to eBay, and the cheapest I could get was $40.
Whew.
But it came with everything, even the digital copy, and the 3D Blu-ray, which was totally worth the money.
Yeah, I still gotta watch that in 3D.
Imagine the Mirror Realm fight in 3D.
Oh my god.
It's fucking amazing.
Wait till you see what they do with him in Infinity War.
I bet.
They really take advantage of his power set, much more than they did in his own movie.
Good. Well, there he was learning. So
still, that gets when he's the master, and he's really cool. But I can't say anything else.
I still love him in Thor Ragnarok. Like,
that was a great cameo.
Especially how they had like the slightly Sherlocky music when he was going up to them. That was great.
How they have like, what is it, BBC?
Oh yeah, 177A Bleecker Street.
Yeah, something like that.
But yeah, anyway, so let's see. They start trying to figure out how to make all this work out.
Oh yeah, and then they run into Han Solo runs into his ex, I suppose.
Emilia Clarke is on the ship and has joined the Crimson Sunrise.
Crimson Dawn.
Crimson Dawn. Close.
Sunrise, yeah, something like it.
Crimson Dawn. And that's kind of an interesting dramatic tension between them. I like how they utilized that.
It's nice to see Emilia Clarke in a better role than I've seen her in movies recently.
Oh God, she's not given enough good work to do.
I feel bad. Like that feels like it's the case for a lot of the Game of Thrones alumni, in that they do really good in that show. That like everything else they do kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Like Peter Dinklage, man, I love you, but like outside of Game of Thrones, the only good movie I've seen you in is
the original Death at a Funeral.
I haven't seen that. I'm talking like post Game of Thrones.
Oh well.
I would say Days of Future Past.
Still haven't seen that.
That's a good one, and kind of Infinity War, but I think he's kind of the weaker link in that one.
He's in Infinity War?
You'll know when you see him.
Oh, cool. Okay. Well, I mean, he's kind of a distinctive person. But
and then me, like Clark did fucking Terminator.
Yeah, that's not her fault.
I don't blame her for that.
That was a serious miscast.
She also did like forever, like that YA movie about how it's okay if you're in a wheelchair to commit suicide. Yeah, that's a thing.
What movie?
It was like Forever Me and You or something like that.
Ew.
Yeah, it was kind of like...
That's gross.
It was very gross.
That's really gross.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, that happened. And yeah, Emilia Clarke definitely... I was kind of hesitant because, like you said, I haven't seen her in anything really good since Game of Thrones. And honestly, I think that she's given a little too much credit for Game of Thrones sometimes.
You think so? Yeah.
Because the writing's not that good. It's not that good. She's just given a lot of badass moments, and she pulls that off really well. But
send all your hate comments to...
Yeah, I mean... Yeah, no one's gonna be able to argue with me that Season 7 was well written. Give me a fucking break.
Wait, which one?
Season 7 of Game of Thrones. One? The one that wasn't based on any George R. Martin shit.
I liked it.
It was gratuitous, and it was clearly not based on real writing. Mm-hmm. It was all contrived moments, and they didn't spend enough time on any of the characters re-meeting each other. Mm-hmm. Like, I could complain about the new season of Game of Thrones a lot.
Save that for another day.
Yeah, sure.
The movie was Me Before You, by the way, the movie I was thinking about.
Huh?
The one that has cripple suicide, Me Before You.
Me Before You. Oh, yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So that's fun. That happened. But then, aside from that... so she shows up and they do pretty well, and she gets assigned to go with them, and Han kind of saves the day with his crazy ideas, and...
Oh, but we gotta talk about Donald Glover and the feminist robot.
Well, we're not there yet.
Is that kind of when that time happens?
Well, they go to look for a ship that can pull it off, because their ship can't pull it off. And...
Well, they don't even have... Do they even have a ship at that point?
Did they crash the other ship?
I feel like they might have. Yeah, because it did crash because
they needed to
or like at least it was damaged because of the fight with the other pirate gang.
But they were hanging off of it when they escaped.
That's true. Okay, so it's still fairly not good enough.
Did fly it away. But yeah, they needed a new ship, and so Emilia Clarke thought about Donald Glover. And Lando, because I can't help but see Donald Glover everywhere I see Donald Glover.
I know it's hard not to, but he does do really good.
He did really well, and the card game scene was really great, and the way that they played off of each other was really great. Especially when Han's like, "Oh yeah, I've played this before." Like, not even that it's especially. It's like, okay, I'll play it. And then L3.
L3.
L3, the robot that's like, they don't even serve us here. She's like going to this BattleBots thing, and she tells one of the robots that's fighting, like, you don't have to do this. Like, you need to escape and have your own life. And it's just like,
whatever. And then like it says like, can I get you anything? Equal rights.
God, her dialogue was great.
Yeah.
All of her dialogue was just great.
And she leads a revolution later.
Oh man, no, that's one of the best parts of the movie. Like, she fucks up the heist so badly.
But she's also so on board with it.
Oh yeah, no, it's just like, all right, I found my calling. It's just like, go free your friends. And then they just start
revolution.
unlocking all the slaves on the slave colony. And Lando's just like, what did you do? And she's like, started a revolution. And it's like, oh god.
Damn it.
Need to do something about that robot. But yeah, so let's see. They go to the slave colony to try to get the stuff, and God, they fly through that whole gas cloud thing, the storm, with that light tunnel through it.
Yeah, and then the parallax monster shows up.
Oh no! That's to get to the colony, and all that shit happens on the colony, which is really well executed. I really love how they pulled all that together. Chewie runs off to do his own thing with saving some Wookiees, and then like that's another thing. He kind of shows up at the perfect time to save Han.
Yeah, again. Whatever contrivances.
Yeah, it's
for this kind of movie, you kind of expect that.
I know,
though,
it's an adventure movie.
It's a space pirate adventure movie. So like, I expect that shit.
But then when they start going back through the cloud, they get blocked off by a Star Destroyer, and they're like, "We have to run." So they're like, "All right, we're going through the cloud." And they're like, "No one goes through the cloud." He's like, "We're going through the cloud."
And that was a fun moment too. Like that's what has this kind of a smaller scale. Is that when a Star Destroyer does show up, there's a much more bigger "oh shit" than you would like in a bigger Star Wars movie.
But then I also love the fact that you got to see a Star Destroyer being constructed in space. Like earlier on in the movie, above the planet.
Okay,
like in one of the opening shots, you actually see a Star Destroyer under construction.
Yeah,
I thought that was a really cool moment.
I somehow missed that.
But yeah, so they fly off into the cloud, and so begins an awesome space chase, like almost blind, including some really awesome maneuvers, like them using the Millennium Falcon like a fucking ping pong paddle to just swat a TIE fighter out of the way, which is awesome. But then, what was it? They run into Space Cthulhu. Giant Space Cthulhu, and fight him in the grip of a fucking black hole, or a gravity well, I guess, because it's not black. It is shining bright and terrifying.
Now, that's just racist. Who says a gravity hole can't be a black hole if it really just wants to be?
Because it was shining bright. The whole point of a black hole is that it sucks in all light and past a certain
I'm just
point
making
you
a
can't
terrible
see it.
joke.
I know, and I'm defeating it even more than it already defeated itself. Shame on you.
I am ashamed.
You just want to get back at me for all the times I call you racist.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, no, not gonna work, buddy.
I'll get you one day.
One of these days.
I'm just thank God you weren't there for the Black Panther review. Howard had to sit in for you.
And
it's
boy.
Just out of every 10 minutes, you would yell racist for no reason.
Yeah, I gotta watch that. But let's see. So they escape, of course. They get to the planet where they can refine it just in time, of course.
Of course.
And then they have a face down with those pirates who try to hijack them.
And that's kind of around the point when the movie kind of started to peter off a little bit for me.
Kind of, yeah, because from there it's not so heisty.
Yeah, it kind of loses its smaller, just people getting by scope, and more into you must do this for the good of the galaxy, Star Wars thing. And I was like, oh, but I like it because it was doing something different. I something I haven't seen before.
I feel like it still retained that on a certain level though, because it wasn't trying to do it on a level where it was like, oh, you got to do some grand space opera thing. It's like you have to figure out how to trick these people for us, and. Although I really didn't like the fact that they were we're the beginning of the rebellion.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was like.
You're telling me Han Solo is responsible for the rebellion beginning to being able to start? I'm gonna side-eye that.
Yeah.
That's a moment where I'm like, you're kind of giving him a little too much credit here.
Yeah, that's, again, because it worked because it was small scale. It was just about one guy and just kind of doing his own shit. And then all of a sudden it's all about, like, starting the rebellion, fight against the Empire. Like, in every Star Wars movie.
But I also feel like it didn't do the whole thing where it was like, this is going to, like... When he found out about it, he was just helping some people who were being, you know, fucked over by this evil gang, you know?
Yeah.
So it still felt somewhat low-key.
Yeah.
But then when you find out that later that the gang is kind of controlled by the dark evil side of the Empire, and then you find out that the people that he's helping are going to become the rebellion, you're like, oh, okay.
There you go.
Fine, I'll give that to you.
All right.
But that moment where he's like, there are 30 armed guards on that ship, and the Falcon just takes off. It's like,
Woody Harrelson, you may continue.
okay, and just steps back into the, and then he's like, go on.
Do your thing.
Just thoroughly humiliated. But let's see, all that stuff happens, and then the face down with Paul Bettany happens, which was really brilliant.
It was really fun.
Really well done, like... The number of back and forth betrayal bait and switches that happened in that few minutes was really...
Like, it looks like Emilia Clarke. And they did the same fucking thing they did in Last Jedi. That kind of annoyed me a little bit.
What?
Where like Emilia Clarke saying, like, you gotta know your opponent and know exactly when to strike, know their weaknesses. The same fucking thing in The Last Jedi, where Snoke. Did you get that too? Because that bothered me a little bit.
Not as much though.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't as, you know, I mean, she's not Kylo.
No, I mean, obviously not. But it's more like just kind of.
And when it comes down to like how Beckett entered that scene and everything, he was always out for himself. At every point, he was always out for himself. So it's not like he was like waiting for the chance to save them or something. He was just like, oh, the tables have turned. All right, I'll take that then. But I feel like they mixed that up well enough, and there were enough people where you were like, I'm not sure about your motivation.
Yeah. Although Emilia Clarke did have that whole ask me about my dark secret thing, having ever had the entire movie.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully they'll address that in the upcoming solo movies, because they are going to do a trilogy, right?
I don't know. Considering how the movie performed, I don't know if they're going to do that or not.
I hope so.
Yeah, like...
Because they did well. They did a really good job with this.
They did. I'm not sure I'd want a trilogy out of solo movies, though. Like, I feel like this might be good as a one-off.
I can see that, but at the same time, I want follow-up on the... I want to see the whole conflict against Emilia Clarke.
But I think you can do that, like, in other movies that don't necessarily need to be solo movies, though.
Sure.
Because, like, the problem is, like, the more you make solo movies, the kind of bigger it has to be, and the more it's kind of hard to believe that Han Solo is kind of the person he is by the time Episode 4 comes around.
I don't know. I feel like over the next couple of movies, they could make him as jaded as he is at the beginning of Episode 4. Especially, did you notice in the fight with Beckett? Very important. I think they did it a bit subtly, but if you have it in mind, like Beckett's giving them the whole speech and everything, and Han shoots first.
Yeah, everybody noticed that. Come on.
Not everybody. It was well executed.
It was well executed, but I think everyone kind of got that vibe a little bit.
Sure. But I like that the fact that the filmmakers were like, we're gonna give our take on this.
It was definitely a very fan servicey, which I was totally okay with.
It was fan servicey, but without like being contrived.
Yeah.
I feel like it was necessary for the film and the scene and the characters involved and the development of the characters. Like, I feel like it just fit very well into that moment.
Yeah, and like this movie did a good job with fan service in that, drawing a little attention to it, but not overtly so. Like when Han gets the gun, or when the Millennium Falcon shows up, or stuff like that.
Oh, the way that he sees Beckett like spinning his guns and he's like, "Teach me that." He's like, "No."
Oh, you shit.
Yeah. Then the cameo.
Yeah, let's talk about that. So,
right.
I feel like if you're at this point in the video, you've
Spoiler alert!
I mean, you've probably already seen it. I
mean, we've spoiled most of the movie, so
at this point, it's your own damn fault.
Progression.
So, let's talk about Darth Maul.
Yeah, Darth Maul shows up as like the secret contact of the Crimson Dawn or whatever with the Empire. This gang is basically a leg of the Empire as it's building itself through the galaxy.
Or it might not be.
You don't think so?
Well, one, like, this is a case where it's a kind of a...
I mean, he's clearly a Sith already. He has the lightsaber.
You run into the issue you kind of had with the Batman vs. Superman dream sequence, and it's that the whole thing's not going to mean a lot to you if you don't know anything of what's actually going on there. If you don't have the prior knowledge going into it. Because, like, I have watched Clone Wars and Rebels, the cartoon shows.
Yeah.
And that's where all this has come from. He comes back in that TV show.
Okay.
And, like, so all that is continuation from his story from the Clone Wars.
Oh. Yeah, I never watched that.
Yeah.
So I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
On its own, though.
Okay, so you thought it was fine on its own, then?
I thought it was neat when it pops up like that. I was kind of wondering why he was there.
Yeah, because they explained that in the Clone Wars TV show. That's kind of the problem you run into.
But
it's like, and
at the same time, I liked it, and I was like, oh, so this is connected to a larger thing.
Yeah, and I like that too, because we're like, you run into the problem where it's like, well, why is Darth Maul there? And you got the nerds going, well, actually, fixing their imaginary glasses.
Yeah.
Because
imaginary.
Well, in my case.
Okay, sure.
But anyway, because like and you should go watch the Darth Maul episodes in Clone Wars. It's actually really
sure.
good.
I've been told to watch the Clone Wars for years. I'm probably not going to, just because.
Fair enough.
I mean, I'd like to. I'm not very motivated. So
fair enough. The Clone Wars basically restarts Darth Maul's story, and Rebels effectively ends it. If you don't watch those shows at all, look at the final scene of Darth Maul in the Rebels. You can look up on YouTube.
Okay. No, I heard both Clone Wars and the Rebels were really good.
They were really good. I'm saying, like,
so.
if you have no plan to watch them, just look up that scene at the very least, because it's done in a very samurai way.
Okay.
And without giving away anything else, and it's actually really, really cool how it's done. But anyway, so, like...
I'm sorry. Are you? Did you just quick side story? Mentioning samurai and American stuff. Did you also have kind of a deep like reaction when you saw like Ninja Batman announced? Because I saw that come up and I was like, I don't know if I want this.
Apparently it's actually pretty good.
I just... Why did they have to call it Ninja Batman?
Because he's a ninja in it.
Why? But why can't he... Isn't there a way to make it a Japanese thing without making him Ninja Batman?
Well, I mean, why not Ninja Batman?
It just feels lazy as a title.
I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm
okay.
saying I'm just saying, like, if you're gonna go balls to the wall, fuck it, why not?
I mean, like, I don't know. Seeing the Joker in samurai armor was kind of like,
From what I've seen from the trailers, like, it looks like
it's
dumb
like
ninja movie meets Power Rangers. So, like, all right.
I mean, if it was something that took itself as seriously as the Animatrix, I might actually give it a shot. But
I feel like in this one, it's one of those tongues firmly planted on cheek, and you can get away with that.
I don't know. I just don't.
I mean, it involves Gorilla Grodd, for God's sake.
No, sir, I do not like it.
Fair enough.
I just can't.
Fair enough.
But anyway.
I haven't seen it, so I can't really say one way or another.
Okay.
I just finally watched the Adam West Batman cartoon, for God's sake.
Oh, wow.
If you haven't watched that, by the way, it's actually really good.
Okay, well, we'll get on that later. How about you watch Ninja Batman and just tell me what you think?
Fair enough.
Because I know you will.
Eventually.
Yeah, anyway. So... Darth Maul.
Darth Maul, yes. So in the I almost said the comics. In the TV show, what's actually really cool about this, because I geeked out pretty hard when he showed up, but they actually got the voice actor from the TV show to do the voice in the movie, to add like further connectivity to between the shows.
Okay.
And the movie. It was still Ray Park as like the body actor, but the voice was from the TV show.
That's interesting.
Which is really interesting. Which I'm glad they did that. I thought that was really clever. That was a really interesting choice.
Yeah, because he didn't really talk in episode 1.
No, he doesn't really give a voice until the cartoon show showed up. And they basically had to create an entire personality because the movies gave them nothing to work with.
Good.
But no, it's like I thought that
they gave him glowers.
What?
Yeah.
Well, he looks a little older in this too, which is also appreciated. But in the TV show,
Well,
he basically starts up a gang that's separate from the Empire until the Emperor finds out about it.
Oh, okay.
And then kicks his ass, and then just thoroughly kicks his ass. Which again, fight you should look up on YouTube. It's really good.
Okay, cool.
And then after that, there's a comic book series that was in between, and then like there's a large jump between that and this. So I'm assuming like he either started another gang or he like got a job in the Emperor.
So technically, Solo takes place in between Clone Wars and Rebels.
Yes, technically.
Huh. Okay. Cool.
So Rebels takes place after Solo, and thoroughly concludes Darth Maul's story.
You gotta appreciate the fact that they respected the lore like that.
They did. And there's also some very nice touches. For one, if you look carefully, you can actually see the metal legs that Darth Maul has that he was given in the cartoon show.
Oh.
Yeah, because he was kind of chopped in half thing from the episode 1.
Oh. Okay.
So he has.
I was wondering how that worked.
So he has like metal prosthetic legs.
I was wondering if it had anything. Okay, yeah, because Clone Wars does have to take place after episode 1. So that's interesting. So he survived the fall, so to speak.
Yeah, it's this whole thing like the dark. He uses hatred for Obi-Wan Kenobi to survive long enough to get prosthetics.
I held my guts in with sheer rage.
Pretty much, yeah.
Which is terrifying on its own. I was so angry that I survived just enough to fucking murder this motherfucker.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's awesome.
And that carries through, like, that's hatred Obi-Wan Kenobi basically carries through. Which, by the way, that actually leaves me a good idea. If they wanted to, the best thing they could do was bring Darth Maul back in the Obi-Wan movie.
Dude, I really hope that they keep Ewan McGregor.
Me too.
Because out of all the shit in the prequels,
Ewan McGregor was the best part.
Ewan McGregor is a legit actor. He pulled that shit off.
Oh yeah.
And if you actually like watch the scene with him dismembering Hayden Christensen next to the lava lake, for as awful as Hayden Christensen is in that scene,
yeah. I hate you.
Where are you?
Eat some sand, a little power.
Yeah, but Ewan McGregor, man,
yeah,
he
sold the shit out of it.
Seems so legitimately fucking destroyed by the fact that he had to do this. Like, God, hats off to that guy. But yeah, anyway, Darth Maul pops up as the leader of this secret gang.
And here's another interesting little tidbit for that one. The lightsaber he has in that scene is actually not his original lightsaber.
I noticed it wasn't double-sided.
Well, it is double-sided, but it separates. But
so did the original one, didn't it?
Only when he cut it in half.
I thought... Oh, so it was just...
Yeah, it was just a double... But in this one actually has like a little curve like on one of the blades, which doesn't pop up until the Rebels TV show. And that's the first time we see that. So I was kind of like, oh, okay, that's an interesting way of keeping continuity.
Okay.
And very careful attention to detail, which I appreciate.
Yeah, I can appreciate all that. That's pretty good.
Yeah, so there are some facts for you. Just to make the whole Darth Maul thing even more confusing for people.
Yeah, right.
For those who have no context, that's the problem. Like, people have no context for any of this going like, oh, that's cool. Wait, how?
Well, yeah, so anyway, that was good. Yeah, that was a good idea. They did that well. A couple moments where the movie kind of stumbled and a couple contrivances, but overall, very fun, very well put together, good attention to detail. The acting is, they cast it excellently. It is a well cast film. The writing is on point for the most part. Yeah, it is the funniest Star Wars movie in a while, at least intentionally so.
Like, if I'm just going to basing this on pure like fun and enjoyment I had, this is probably the best of so far. Objectively, I can't say it's the best Star Wars Star Wars movie.
No, it's not, because there's more to Star Wars than just the fun. Yeah. But if you're talking about a Star Wars adventure,
this is a fun adventure. And I think it's honestly what this series kind of needed right now.
Yeah,
after all the bullshit going on.
Considering the character that Han Solo is, I think giving him a really fun heist movie was a good idea.
Yeah, it was definitely a smart choice, and it gave us something different.
Yeah.
It gave us something that I think it was this movie felt refreshing for a Star Wars movie for me.
Yeah.
In a way that just did not take itself that seriously. It's played more or less for fun and for laughs, and you're just there to have a good time.
Even the slave colony scene
Yeah.
has plenty of hilarity in it.
Yeah,
Because you see everyone as slaves, but not for long.
and it's also the first Star Wars movie without fucking C-3PO in it.
Yes.
It's the first movie without the fucking Force in it, unless you count this as Darth Maul cameo.
Sure, yeah. That's true. I didn't really think about that.
And it's also the only Star Wars movie without a fucking Jedi, or a reference to a Jedi at some point.
Yeah. That's actually an excellent point.
And it's like, for all that stuff, like, you know what, just right out the bat, that's actually really refreshing.
That is a good point. However, I would like to point one thing out.
Was C-3PO in it?
C-3PO is not in it, but I'm pretty sure the guy who plays his voice
Was he the other droid that pops up that gets run over?
He was Tak. Who's Tak? I don't know who Tak was, but he's definitely in there. Anthony Daniels is in the movie.
Okay, I'm gonna look up who the fuck Tak is. Who the fuck is Tak?
Solo, Tak.
That's so helpful.
That is not helpful either.
It's a character named Tak. That's the most I learned.
Sure. Sure.
I'm sure I'll see you in the extended universe.
Yeah, right.
Whatever.
Three,
Whatever novelization that Disney pumps out.
Oh, hey, a Star Wars toaster.
Oh, look at that.
You make bread with Star Wars logo
That doesn't sound quite satisfying as breakfast.
toasted onto the bread.
That doesn't sound satisfying to me.
It doesn't. I don't understand why you want to burn certain parts of your toast just so it can have a logo on it. So.
Because I mean, you like Star Wars. If you don't like that kind of stuff, you're not.
I'm eating Star Wars for breakfast.
If you don't think what I think about this particular Star Wars thing, you're not a real Star Wars fan.
Fuck you. Anyway,
that was the part that killed me when we released this Last Jedi review. Is one of the first comments we got was sign this petition to make like Last Jedi not canon or some bullshit like that. I was like, you
eat a dick.
Yeah, like he's like, did you watch the review? We liked it.
Not only was it like, I still think The Last Jedi fixed a lot of stuff.
Honestly, at the very least, it did something different, and it showed like, hey, we need to do something new if this series wants to stay alive.
Oh, okay. Apparently.
Oh, it's one of the human Chewbacca's, apparently? Like one of the Chewbacca's
no.
saves?
Pay attention during the scene for Tak, and know this other Wookiee is not Chewbacca's wife.
So we don't get the connection to the Christmas special. God damn it.
Sagwa is called over by a slave on Kessel to get out of there. That's Tak. And then the Wookiee in turn asks Chewie to join him and Tak. Oh, yeah, that's when they separate.
Yeah.
Like, Tak is the guy who calls Sagwa over. So Anthony Daniels shows up during the escape from Kessel.
Damn it, man. I won my connection to the Star Wars Christmas special.
Yeah, right.
When do we get to see the Chewie scene?
Oh, yeah. Anyway.
Give me the Wookiee song of whatever it was.
Yeah, right.
You can sound so much better than I can.
Why am I doing the Super Mario underwater song?
It might as fucking well be.
It just came along. That's the first thing that popped into my head to sing as a Wookiee. Apparently he's a Mario fan. But yeah, anyway, that was...
Anyway.
Yeah, overall, I would say a very solid 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I'd probably put it lower, closer to an 8, but like I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was definitely a really enjoyable time. It doesn't take itself too seriously, and it doesn't fuck up too bad. It does some things that, in terms of canon, I would consider kind of egregious if I gave a shit about canon that much. Mm-hmm. But I'm still too happy after the fact that in Last Jedi, Luke basically called the Jedi Council a bunch of dipshits because they fucking were.
They were.
They were too fucking busy being fucking governors who were rich and comfortable to even attend their own meetings in person.
But what about the Wookiee attack on Kashyyyk?
Yeah, I want to see that. I want to see that. That's kind of why I want a Solo 2. That's why I want a Solo trilogy, because you know they will do that.
That would be cool to actually see Kashyyyk longer than 5 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, there was something in one of the Star Wars books. It was like a choose your own. You remember the Star Wars Choose Your Own Adventure books?
A long.
You had
time
to.
ago.
It was Star Wars Adventures. You actually had to like subscribe to it, and you got a different one each month, and it came with its own stuff.
No.
Oh man, it was awesome. But yeah, you got these things, and you would choose what you would do, and it guide you through this adventure. And I think one of them you actually got to go to Kashyyyk,
Nice.
and like fuck with stuff.
Nice.
And I think you got to do that in
The Old Republic.
KOTOR. Yeah,
Yeah,
Knights of the Old Republic,
yeah,
the first one.
Big Planets.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. So
Yeah.
it would be cool to see that brought back in the movie context. It would also be cool if KOTOR was kind of lore. So
Kind of is.
it kind of is because it plays so well with the existing lore. But if they actually incorporated that, like if they brought HK-47 into something,
Oh my god!
my
yes.
god,
That, like,
people would lose their shit.
You just see just like the front row of the theater just covered in jizz.
That's very rude of the second row. It's like that scene in Grandma's Boy. I can't stop! I can't stop! Ah!
It's like, what was that 5 second film that came out like years ago, back when the Twilight series was still out? Where,
Oh, God.
where the title was just, yeah, it's good. It's a good movie.
Oh, God. Well, this got really gross for a second.
But no, like actually, they do bring it up in Rebels at one point.
They bring HK-47 up?
Not HK-47. They bring up the Mandalorian Wars.
Oh, okay.
That's in KOTOR. That's Robin KOTOR 1 and 2.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
So
Well,
at least
that's cool.
in some parts that KOTOR is still canon.
Okay. I accept that.
Yeah.
And if that's canon to Rebels and Rebels is canon to Solo, then
Yep.
that by association,
Yep.
KOTOR is canon.
Exactly.
All right, we're good. And by retconning everything that George Lucas said, Force Unleashed is no longer canon, so we're okay.
Sure. Okay. How does that work with the sequels?
I don't care. Just I don't want Force Unleashed to be canon.
That's the one. Like, see, that's already like that's the one you don't want to be canon.
Yes.
Okay.
Do you remember that?
I didn't think it was that bad.
Really? The whole secret apprentice that brings down a Star Destroyer with his mind whole plot line is not...
Oh, I think you think of the Force Unleashed.
That's what I said, Force Unleashed.
I thought you said the Force Awakens. That's why I got
No,
confused.
Force Unleashed.
Oh, okay.
I did not say Force Awakens.
My bad. I misheard you.
Force Awakens is canon as it is. It's just
Oh no, like
boring.
the Force Unleashed stopped mattering a long time ago.
Yeah, no, oh my god.
I enjoyed those games for what they were.
They were fun in terms of being like, hey, just go nuts with the Force. But the fact that George Lucas was like, yeah, this is part of the series now. I was like,
That doesn't make sense in so many ways.
It's good as fan fiction, but the fact that you endorse this and you haven't officially endorsed KOTOR is a fucking insult, you asshole.
I just know it's just fun to lift stormtroopers up, dangle over a cliff, and just let them drop.
The physics engine was great.
Yeah.
The physics engine was fantastic. I will not deny the fact that it was fun to just lift stormtroopers up and smash them into other stormtroopers. But yeah. Anyway, we're just going off into like all the Star Wars stuff.
Yeah.
So
that was good.
Yeah.
I had a good time. So later this week, this is where like the good movies stop and the bad movies begin. So I gotta drag someone to go see Book Club.
I don't even know what that is.
It's part old people romantic comedy, part 50 Shades of Grey advertisement. Yeah.
So
It's
the
about-
last Marigold Hotel with sex?
Pretty much.
Ew. I mean, you know,
Old people
you know
can
what?
make love to.
No, I know. I am absolutely all for old people fucking. Like, seriously, if you are
We should start making a series of like out of context lines I want on T-shirts.
Well, I mean,
I support old people fucking.
Here's my thing: if you are like 70 and you are still have it in you, if you still have the physical
Literally and
energy
figuratively.
and your bones aren't like too brittle to fuck, by all means, you're gonna die soon. Fuck. Get it out of your system. Just have some fun. You are at the point where you have nothing left to live for but like just enjoying whatever days you have left. So by all means, have some sex. But please don't make me see it. That's all. That's all. I mean, I just...
That's not even the worst one I have to see this week. I still gotta see Show Dogs.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I mean, you've heard about that whole controversy, right?
I only found out about it after, like, a commenter brought it up, and I was like, what the fuck?
But you've heard about the controversy,
I heard
right?
about it, yeah.
You read about, like, how bad it is, right?
I read about the scenes.
It's like a running joke in the movie.
Yeah, I heard about that. I heard they're going to
Yeah.
cut it out, too, so I don't know if that's going to be any movie I watch, so...
Well, good, because literally there's, like, a scene where he goes off into his happy place
Well,
to get away from what's happening. That's played as a joke for children.
Couldn't you just solve that by a 5-second conversation where you're just like, yeah, but it's only okay if it's dogs?
The main character of the movie, the dog, is freaked out about having his privates touched.
Like, it's one of those things, like, it's gonna be awful no matter fucking what, alright?
I mean, you could even make a joke out of it where the dog's like, oh God, okay, fine, this is happening. Like, even, like, you could even push it to the point of the controversy of, like, let it happen and that would be bad enough. But they literally had him, like, go within himself.
Like I said, it might not even be in the movie I go see. So I just
We'll see it first so you can give the full fire and fury of that judgment. Because
oh, great. I mean, like, it's gonna be, I'm sure there's gonna be plenty of else to talk about.
I am sure, but that's just unexcusable.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that the writers of that movie thought that was even a joking matter is just not okay.
It looks like a movie that was written in the 90s and just got passed around for like 20 years.
Or written by somebody whose sense of humor is still in the 90s.
It's I will not be surprised if it's like another case of 9 Lives where this movie just got passed around in development hell for fucking decades.
God.
Because that movie has a picture, like, the joke of, like, some shit getting a picture of George W. Bush. Yeah, 9 Lives has that joke in there.
Okay. Well, that's bad. What else do you got? Book Club?
Show Dogs, those are the 2 big ones. I already reviewed Deadpool 2 last week. So,
okay.
And this one knocks the big one out for this week.
Okay.
So.
All right.
And then there's still a Melissa McCarthy movie that came out that I missed because I was out of town.
That didn't look too bad.
It's still a Melissa McCarthy movie, though.
Yeah, I mean, but it looked like they actually gave her a role that was worth playing this time.
Which movie are you thinking of?
I'm thinking of the one where she's like the one who forges the...
No, not that one.
Oh.
That one actually looks decent.
Yeah.
I'm talking the one there she's a old mom that goes back to college.
Oh. Yeah, that sounds like another Melissa McCarthy setup.
Yeah.
All right, well...
I know she's got that dumb Sesame Street thing that coming out later this year.
Nah, whatever. Anyway, trailers?
I didn't really write my down because I knew we were going to do this, like, out of sync. What trailers did you get? Do you remember?
The one time I get there early enough to see all the trailers, and you don't note the trailers.
Well, it's because our show times were different. We saw it on different days.
Yeah, I suppose. I don't remember any of the trailers. I mean, if you mentioned them, I'd probably remember them, but I just...
we've already been talking for an hour, so I figured it's probably good to wrap.
All right, we're good.
Yeah. So, thank you guys for watching.
Good movie.
Yay.
Watch it.
On to...
Because I don't want it to fail.
Me too.
Yeah.